So ooey and gooey, this low-carb chocolate peanut butter molten lava cake will blow your mind. You won't believe it's a keto sugar-free dessert. I am having such fun going back and tweaking old recipes like this one. This keto molten lava cake has always been one of my favorite desserts. How can you go wrong with a warm peanut butter center oozing out all over your plate? It's a little frightening how much I love peanut butter and chocolate together. I have to confess, it's something I eat almost daily, even if it's just a little piece of really dark chocolate with some peanut butter smeared on top. It's a flavor combination that is never far from my mind, even when I am in the midst of creating another recipe altogether. And I know I am not the only one who feels this way. Whenever I post a low-carb peanut butter and chocolate recipe, they get a great deal of attention. My chocolate-covered peanut butter popsicles went completely viral, and not just with the low-carb set. They're still going wild on Pinterest, and it's rather astonishing to watch. All the world is in love with peanut butter and chocolate. And why shouldn't they be? The world is also in love with molten chocolate cake. I don't know who first came up with those, but hand that person a trophy, please, because it's nothing short of brilliant. Warm chocolate cake, typically with little to no flour, not quite fully cooked through. As you cut into it with your fork, the molten insides come pouring out onto your plate. Gooey doesn't even begin to describe these sorts of desserts, and the best part is that they usually come together very quickly. No need to bake for hours and then carefully decorate with frosting. It almost feels like cheating to whip up individual cakes in ramekins in about 20 minutes. And they seem so impressive to people who haven't ever made them. And then, the marriage of the two. Dabbing a spoonful of peanut butter into the molten cake batter, so that it melts during baking and seeps out all over the plate upon cutting into it. I don't think there is any need for me to explain my position any further. You know why this is a good idea, go make it. What is not a good idea, however, is trying to take pictures of said low-carb molten chocolate peanut butter cake and mistakenly thinking that whipped cream would be a good garnish. Whipped cream is a great garnish at almost any time, but not when the cake is hot out of the oven and you are trying to show how the melty peanut butter oozes out invitingly onto the plate. Why not? Because the cake is served warm. And what happens to whipped cream on warm cake? It melts. And what happens when it melts? It runs all down the sides of the cake, obscuring the view of the lovely melty peanut butter center. Grr. I actually had to go back to the kitchen, sop up the melted whipped cream, transfer the cake to another plate, and then try again to get good shots of the melted peanut butter center. I had 2 other unbaked cakes and I could have tried with those, but I was saving them for dinner that night. I wanted to see if the cake could be prepared ahead of time and cooked just before serving, in case any of you wanted to serve it to guests. And it can indeed. But that left me with the one whipped cream soaked cake for photos. Damage control. Messy, but still infinitely delicious.